With the coming of March, once again it was time to go to El Salvador and build another church. Within a few hours we were in San Salvador, loaded on a bus and headed off to San Vicente, where our hotel is located. When we arrived at the hotel, the ladies had already prepared a meal for us of pupusas and fruit.
Tell me about it, darling. What are you eating?
I think I have some watermelon, mango, and papaya and melon. This is really good. It's really good. Better than any fruit anywhere else.
With the meal over, boredom began to set in. A group decided that we should go around to the other side of the volcano and take a look at the building site and see just exactly what we were up against. It was located on the edge of a steep ridge, surrounded by avocado and banana and coconut trees swaying in the wind. With the downstairs walls already complete, things were looking good. Friday morning, the sifting, the mixing, and the carrying of block began. By that afternoon, sunburned and some with blistered hands, as we headed back to the hotel. It had been a very productive day. Sabbath morning, we were on our way to a church dedication up this washed-out ravine. At the end of the ravine, we got out and walked up a steep, rocky trail.
¿Cómo estás? Bien. Yeah.
And at the top of the ridge, there was their new church. They had carried their new church up that trail. Every part of it, all the gravel, the sand, the cement, the block, the rebar, the roof, the floors, the doors, every part of it had been carried by hand on their backs up that trail. And now today we were here with them to celebrate.
También quiero presentar a toda esta familia que se ha convertido en la obra del Señor.
So I want to present to you those that have been converted in the Lord's work.
Pasen al frente.
So those that can come up, those are the people that are coming forward are those that have been. Okay, this is the local church.
No se avergüencen de pasar al frente porque esa es la obra del Señor.
So those people here, this represents, this is the local church right now. These are the people that will be worshiping every Sabbath and working with the Holy Spirit to fill this church even more.
There was singing and sermons and stories and prayer. We did crafts with the children and passed out stuffed animals. They had been willing to build their own church. They just, as farmers, had no way to raise the money. And that's where our church helped their church. And on this day, they were meeting in their new church. Sunday morning back at the job site, church members and friends were beginning to arrive to help us.
Sí, normal, disculpe.
It's been great. We got a lot of people here today that are helping, so it's a little crowded, but I feel like we're making some good ground. Good spirit.
It's amazing how the other churches come back.
Oh yes, they come back, they feel a love and appreciation for what we've done in the past, so they come and do what they can to contribute to the new church project. So
I mean, it's almost like they enjoy it.
yes, oh yeah, you
Like
can
they're coming to see their friends.
yes, and it's a good little reunion to get to see our friends again. So we're really blessed to spend some time together.
With many hands, the work went fast. During the days, we laid block and helped with the medical outreach. In the evening, some of our young people took part in evangelistic meetings that were taking place.
Dear Jesus,
Querido Jesús,
we love you so much.
te amamos mucho.
We want you to live in our hearts.
Queremos que vivas en nuestro corazón.
By Tuesday evening, the walls were complete and the roof was beginning to be installed. So Wednesday, Jack, not wanting to waste the opportunity, set out to find us some more work, and he knew exactly where to go. A few years ago, a site had been chosen to build a church, but at the last minute, the land deal had fallen through. We ended up building a different church instead. However, the elder and members of this church were convinced that God wanted them to move out of the lean-to that they had met in for the last 16 years. They got their money together and purchased a small piece of land, and though it was very difficult to build on, they had spent the last 3 years digging and pouring concrete.
Because it kept falling in on them.
You mean the footer is 8 feet wide?
Yeah, right here, it just,
So it's got a huge amount of concrete right there.
yeah, because the land kept falling in on them. It was, you can't believe what they've done, had to deal with, and how much hard, this is all hard work.
You can
And finally had it up to the level where they had poured the floor. Their plan had been to meet in the basement now for the next 5 or so years until they had the money to finish the upstairs. Now we were on our way to offer them the remainder of our time in El Salvador and give them some money to buy material so that they could finish their church. By Friday afternoon, the wall had a good start, and they are now finishing this church themselves. In El Salvador, many groups are well able to build a church. However, they don't have the money for the material. If you, your family, or your Sabbath school class has ever wanted to be part of a really special project, consider building a church in El Salvador. These churches are being built for $10,000 apiece.